In the name of the Emperor, remember, and remember it well. Do not let the Xeno sway you. Do not let Twilight either sway you. Not the Xeno or Twilight, in the name of the Emperor. And you are watching Dark Heresy Session 13, so let's get on with that. So it's going to be a very quick, short recap for this one, because, well, it was a short session, to be honest. I mean, after we were finished, we just carried on. We played a bit of Beatles Rock Band and a bit of Buzz as well. So it was a bit of fun, different sort of gaming, and I think that's a good thing to remember as well, that you're meeting up to game, and it doesn't always have to be just, the role-playing. Maybe sometimes do something a bit different with your party. If you finish a bit early and you end the module early, chuck something else on. Now, while it was quite a short session, some laughs were had. I can't really remember most of them, but there was one thing came to mind. There was a suggestion at some point, sort of out of character, that maybe Padraig could try and get together with Sophia, the battle sister. Haha. They're both kind of in their 30s or whatever. Sophia's player said, yeah, don't get any ideas. You're far too twisted. Plus, I'm a bride of the Emperor. And I piped up and I said, well, so technically, isn't that necrophilia? And he said, yeah, I suppose it is. Padraig's player said, yeah, plus, he said bride, not mistress. So, we were trying to decide where to go next. We had a number of locations to choose from, but we kind of got pushed in the direction of attending this party, the invitation we'd had. We basically started to discover that it was a party to celebrate the eclipse that was going to happen. We discovered that several things happen. Some of the old grudges and feuds get brought up and, well, finished off in that time. We found out that they tend to meet and have these parties whenever the cycle comes around for this. But of course, this time, if it was to be allowed to happen, all of the rage of Harlock's bloodline would manifest and into some terrible creature, so we couldn't let that happen. Of course, we had one of the scions of his blood with us, so that was something that gave us the edge there. We were waiting for all the weirdness to happen, sort of in an eyes wide shut kind of way. Who knows if there were side sections for things, but there was a couple of quite oddities going on. There was a guy that was standing there, and upon further inspection, it had turned out that he was actually living dead. He was a zombie, some sort of warped zombie thing. He'd had his heart ripped out, yet he was still standing, so we quickly put him down and then said, right, this place isn't good. This is very, very bad. And as the hours got closer and we were trying to investigate, worse things started happening. People started collapsing, and there was some sound of machinery and clockwork in the walls or something. Anyway, we went out to investigate the bell tower because, it was all going to be focusing on the strike of 13, the 13th chime. This is the thing that was really drawing us on. So, I mean, we talked to the guests and, we'd made allies and this sort of thing and, made our presence known. And I suppose if the battle was going to go down, we'd know some people might help us and some people might hinder us, who knows. But we found the clock tower because that was going to be relevant. This clock tower goes all the way up to the ceiling, up through all the floors. I can't remember what it was made of now, but it had some strange pendulum in it that was swinging, made of some strange material about the size of a fist or something. And, well, none of us could actually even see the clock, and it's only the scion of the bloodline, this being Padraig, played by Pete, that could actually even see it, the manifested form of it. So he had to report to us what he's seeing, and then we're like, well, can you climb up? Can you do something with it? So he started climbing the tower, and he looks like he's climbing thin air, of course. We, in the end, came to the point of, well, we've tried to be clever, we've tried to do other things, we'll just have to rip the damn thing straight out of the clock. So that's really what we did. We ripped it out of the clock, out of its housing, the pendulum there, and there was suddenly this massive explosion, and it blew the whole area up. I've got the most insane dodge you could imagine. Everyone had to do a dodge test because we were all within like 10 yards or whatever of it. I failed the dodge and everyone else succeeded, even though they don't even have dodge and they're rolling at half characteristic, and I'm the guy that's got dodge and plus 20, and a good agility in the first place. I was rolling at something like 71 dodge, and I failed. So I was like, screw that, fate point. And I still failed. Went skidding along the floor and picked myself back up from the explosion. Poor old Jerichus. We had a look at the remains of the clock tower, the clock itself, and it had blown a big hole in the floor, so we had to look down, and there was this sort of disembodied voice thing talking to us, and it was the body, the bones of this this anger essence materialization of Harlock, and the face was starting to appear on it. It was a big old demon thing. We'd beaten it before it could fully manifest, before the 13th hour could come. We'd screwed up the clock, and that basically ended it right there for us. So, a couple of things to say about this. Firstly, we took his head, cut it off, and took it with us back up to the ship, got to get off planet and back off. I don't know who our Inquisitor's going to be now, because she's obviously passed away. So we'll find that out next session. The other thing was that the book advises that we get a fate point. Now, this is the thing. The GM gave everybody that fate point, but it was a mistake, really, because it was far too easy. We'd cleared the thing far too easy. I'm sure that the books will probably end up at a suitable level, but it sort of feels that they might well be for lower level characters too, this particular module, and we're not. We are rank 6, so we found it too easy. I don't think we really deserve that fate point, but he was going by the book there, so I'm going to go down on record on saying that was probably a blunder. Some of us have managed to stretch our way back up to the 5 fate point cap now, which isn't good necessarily, because you want that fear of death in your campaign, and some of the crazy things we did do, we didn't get a fate point for, and then the things that are too easy, maybe not. So I think when it's something maybe ingenious and you've done something that's contributed to the easy downfall of the thing, like you managed to hit the weak point on an enemy or something like that, and you've done it cleverly, then if it states it in the book that you get it for that, then I suppose it really doesn't matter either way. But if the entire mission just felt so easy and you've cleared it, and they've said, oh, just completing this mission gives you a fate point if you didn't let the thing get summoned. I don't know, because it's really just a case of going into a clock and pulling a pendulum out at the end of the day, wasn't it? So we could have just, we just escaped from the arena thing, go up there and pull a damn pendulum out, really. Do you know what? I'm going to wrap it up there in very short form. And we've got all sorts of other campaigns and things we're trying to run. We're trying to play a couple of other role plays as well at the moment. We're trying to delve into Dragon Age, and we're trying to delve into this alpha test player created thing. I don't want to say what it's called just yet. I don't have license to do that. And those other things. So we'll get back to that. But, tell you what, till next time, see you at the table.